Welcome to my hands. It is the very last day of April today. So I want to do a refresh for May of my everyday makeup drawer. You guys, I did start this video last month and you guys helped me build this for the first time. So I had just one of these little cubbies or whatever the heck these are called. And then I purchased another one so that I could do the stuff that I was testing, and I rotate this out all the time. So anyway, this is kind of a weird angle, but I don't really know the best way to do it just yet. I probably will figure it out as I kind of go. I think you can see everything from here, so I think it'll be fine for this month, but I may change up the way that I like show you guys these drawers. Let's start off with the lip products over here that I'm testing. So I just picked this up. I actually picked this up in store, which is like bad, you know, going in store, you always get things that you didn't think that you were gonna get. I wasn't going to pick this up, but it looked so delightful and delicious. So I'm still testing this out. I have this from Black Moon Cosmetics. I did a video trying this on plus one of their palettes. It was an older palette, but this is one of the metallic liquid lips in DeVille. I've only worn that in the video. And then this one from NYX is the new Butter Gloss Bling. I did try this on in a video, but I've only worn it that one time. Same thing with this one right here from Armani. Okay, please stop, that's great. This is one of the new Prisma lip glosses, I think that's what they're called. And I did try this on in a testing new makeup video, and I've only tried it once. I have been trying to use a lot of the lip products over here that are in my everyday makeup drawer. And then I picked this up, also said that I wasn't like gonna get it, but wanted it, was in store. And so I picked it up. It's one of the Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jellies. So another thing I had my eye on. I did a video also testing this out, one of the new Sephora lip products. This was like the Lip Shine Lacquer, the Lacquer Shine, I guess. From the Sephora brand. I really enjoyed this. Really enjoyed this. I actually think I wore this one other time, but I still want to continue testing it out. So those are the lip products that I'm still testing. Now, I pulled in a ton of stuff for my everyday makeup drawer, and I have been using mostly that, and that's why I haven't been reaching for these. I had the Rare Beauty lip balm, which is a little bit older. I wore this a couple of times. It is so freaking beautiful. I don't know why I haven't been reaching for it. This Kiko Milano 3D Effect lip gloss was in my project pan. You guys can see where I'm at. I freaking love this. I'm even thinking like this is probably got to be one of my favorite sparkly glosses at the current moment. And then these ones are really nice too. The Pat McGrath Opulus. These are the mini glosses that came in a set for like Christmas. And I have been using these quite a bit as well. They're a little bit older. You can see this one and this one are down there. This one, not so much. I haven't reached for that one quite as much, but I feel like I can wear this one on its own. I've been using these to top, and I want to keep them here because they're older and they just didn't get enough love initially. And so I don't want them to go bad. I still want to keep this one out. And the reason that I'm making mention of that specifically is because I actually thought about putting this back in the drawer, but I think I will keep it. These two glosses I pulled in from last month, but I didn't even get to use them. The Juvia's Place, I guess this is just the gloss in Sis. I wanted it for like a brown gloss. I haven't even worn it. Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow, and didn't wear that one either. Then I had an old Marc Jacobs that I'm like down like here actually. Now you can see it's like right here. And hopefully that was in frame. I'm like right here with this. I would like to pan this one as well because again, it's an older product. And I thought about panning this very last one, which is a Too Faced Melted Matte in the shade Well Hello Into You. And I don't think I'm going to. I think this is starting to smell bad. I mean, it's not there yet, but it doesn't smell perfect. I'm just not reaching for this, like, especially for this time of year. I pulled in way too many lip products. I don't think I'm gonna wear this. So I'm gonna put this back, and when I do my end of the year declutter, I'll probably get rid of this if I don't end up using it again. So that one's gonna go back. More lip products. I had two of the Make Beauty. I never remember the name of these. They're the shiny balms, I guess. I had two shades, Equilibrium and Supernova. I didn't even get to use these at all. Obviously, I kind of overcommitted as far as it pertains to like the lip products, especially because I've been picking up so many more to test them out. That's what in store does to me. So I need to keep these out as well. And the last two here were from Bite Beauty. These, of course, are no longer made because Bite is no longer open. And I had two shades, Juniper, which is more pink, and then a basic mauve shade in Sugar Buns. I used Sugar Buns, super gorgeous, but I'm gonna put it back because I did use it quite a bit. This one, the more pinky shade, I have not had a chance to use. So I am going to leave this one out because this still smells fine. I think it still has some life left in it, so I'm gonna put it back so I can get some more use out of some of these other ones. But as I was doing my lip product declutter, I ended up pulling in more products from the lip category, and now I'm just massively overwhelmed. The reason I pulled all of these in was because they were a little bit older. I actually pulled in another one from Bite Beauty, 2 more, not just this one, and I ended up panning it already. So I feel good about it, but this last one is just like a brownie shade that has this much left. And because I want to get use out of my Bite Beauty stuff, because they were some of my favorite lip products, I'm going to put this one up here, actually back here, so it can kind of lean. And then the rest of these, I'm going to pull these forth. So this one was from Winky Lux. It's one of their, I think, High Shine lipsticks in Posh, P-A-W-S-H. I think that's so cute because it has like the little kitty imprint. I'm actually wearing this one right now, and it's the first time I've used it since I pulled it in. And I also have like another kind of mauve shade. It's maybe a little bit deeper than the one from Bite Beauty. It's from Beauty Bakery, which now we know is going out of business. They are closing. This is in Sunfrisa Souffle. And I would like to use this up since it is just a little mini, and I'll never be able to get my hands on it again. So if it goes bad, it goes bad, and it's done. So I'm gonna pull that one forth. And here's another one from Bite Beauty. I'm actually gonna pull this one forward too, you guys. It has like 1 use left. So I'm gonna try and use that, even though a red shade is typically something I would reach for in the winter months, but I want to get some more use out of it. And all of these are going to stay down here. I just think they're getting a little bit older. I've got the Clarins lip oil that I've had for a while, a Lunar Beauty, actually 2 Lunar Beauty glosses. I had a lip oil that I pulled in here, but I moved it to my filming station. And then the L'Oreal Paris High Shine Lip Glossy Balm thing. It has a really long name. This one is in the shade Be Outstanding. I feel like this one is getting older too. So I'm gonna do my best to use the lip products. It's just, I overcommitted in terms of lip products. I have too much here. Let's talk about setting spray. I only pulled in one. This was just one that I grabbed. Honestly, I don't have that many setting sprays, and I like to keep some that I spray my sponges with. So that's what I've been doing. I've been using this at a really good clip, so I want to keep it out. I had 2 foundations in my project pan, and I've been using the e.l.f. one. If you can see, it's like down here now, as opposed to like my line. I'm gonna pan this sucker, I'm telling you what. But this one I haven't even used. I have not touched. As you can see, like, look, it needs to be shaken. I don't know. I just honestly prefer the e.l.f. one more. So if I'm gonna pan a foundation in addition to using my other foundations, I just don't feel like it's gonna be this one, but I'm gonna keep it up here for now. Now, the other ones over here, I just picked this one up. It's the Ultra Laiton from Chanel. I want to try this for like an all-day matte foundation, more full coverage foundation. And I think I left this in here. I told you guys about this, but I left this in here from last month. I picked this up on a family trip. I just didn't love the foundation that I took, and I ended up like decluttering that foundation. But I picked this up because I remembered really liking it, but the longevity was not good when I retested it or tried it again after buying it. And I do think though that I'm still gonna give it like another go, but I haven't reached for it because I'm trying to do a roundup of the best foundations to use for summertime, things that are really good for oil control and mattifying. In addition, that's one of the reasons I picked this up. This is the Secure the Sweat Dry Till Dawn Primer from One Size. I'm gonna reserve like my final thoughts, but I have to say it did not keep me not oily, that's for sure. I was expecting it to do a little bit more. Oh, look I forgot this one. I did end up pulling this one in too. The Simi Haze Matte Lip Balm in Velvet Blur. I didn't even get to use this one, but I've overcommitted to like all of this stuff. And if I'm gonna grab like a matte that's, yeah, this one right here, because it is so much older from Beauty Bakery, I'm gonna put this one away for now. I think I kept it up here because it didn't fit in my drawer. So I was like, where else am I gonna put this? But I do think I need to like put this back in the drawer for now. So those 3 things are gonna go away. Just too many lip products. Let's talk about the other primers or color correctors. So I pulled this one in, the Tula Filter Primer, Blurring and Moisturizing Primer. I have not gotten to use this, so this one needs to stay. This one from Rimmel, the Instant Conceal and Correct, I brought in for a color corrector. I did use a couple of times. I want to keep it because it's older, and so I would love to get more use out of it, more than just the couple of times that I used it during the month. I did not reach for that enough, so this really needs to stay. Let's move on to eye products. So I had these in the testing phases. I had a ton of stuff in here, and I did do a lot of the testing of the ones that were in here, and I pulled these two in from Kiko. These are their Lasting Mousse eyeshadows, and I tried this shade one time. It's in 05. You guys, these are not quick and easy, so I need to keep testing them. So they need to just stay where they are. And then this one I picked up from About Face. It's the Pigmented Loose Glitter in Melancholy Sky. I did not get to test this one either, so this needs to stay. Then I had the AF94 Swirled Liquid Marble Shadow in Bewitched. I tried this in a video, but I have not tried it again since then. And my stupid self went and bought another single. It's the Dazzle Stick from KVD. I have one, I've had two, but I saw this in stores and I was like, oh, don't do it, don't. Oh, you did it. So I picked this up. I love these. Honestly, they're so cooling when they get to the skin. They're such an great, like, where is the light gonna pick this up? They're honestly like such a good everyday throw on your eyes stick. They're really, really pretty. I had no business getting more, but I did. All right, and then from here, I bought myself a pretty little thing from Amazon. It's a magnetic eyeshadow case, and I threw some of my singles in here, which I don't have a lot of, but the Cliona ones I want to get some use out of. I put those in my everyday makeup drawer. And then I also had two palettes. I had the 70s palette from Kara Beauty, and then I had the Pretty Grunge palette from Huda Beauty, and I used the Pretty Grunge one, so I felt good about that. But I feel like I still want to keep this one out for just a neutral look. Like if I'm in a rush and I do not have time, this is a great palette to reach for because it has, like, you know, 90 shades of the rainbow and a lot of neutral tones. So I think this is gonna stay for now. If you guys are not new to my channel, you know I've been hauling a ton of indie brand shadows, so I am still testing all of the time. New to me and new eyeshadows, so I don't always get to reach for these, but I had a ton of singles in here that I actually was able to work through. So surprisingly, I've done a decent job. I've stayed pretty damn dedicated and I feel good about it, but these two things need to stay here. I don't have any other single eye products at the current moment that need to go in rotation, so this is it. So by next month, I should clear this out and I will have like nothing in here, and then I'll be able to just kind of focus on like testing other eyeshadow palettes. Now let's move on into this section here, which from my everyday makeup drawer, this was all of the bronzers, highlighters, and one powder that I brought in. So let's go over this. I brought in the Say Cream Bronzer. This one is in light bronze. Now, this was one of the original shades from the original launch. So they have come out with lighter shades, I'm pretty sure, since then. Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't pick this up being the second lightest shade when it first launched. I think that they've extended the line since then is what I meant. But this is too deep for me. So I'm glad that I retested this. Let's declutter this. This does not need to stay with me. Bye. Same thing with the Tower 28. This one, it was the original Bronzino in West Coast. Not same thing, I guess, but it's too deep and too shimmery. I love it for the cheeks, but then I don't love it for the forehead. And so every time I put this on, I was never happy that I had to reach for a separate bronzer for the forehead. So I am gonna declutter that one also, and it's older. Okay, same thing with the Huda Beauty Tantour. This I'm just not into anymore. I'm glad that I pulled these back in rotation because this is just too dark for me. I know that about myself now. I don't even want to mess around, to be honest. So I'm going to declutter this one as well. I got a chance to test all of those bronzers because I had like no other bronzers in the testing phase, so I felt good about it. I brought in 3 highlighters. So this highlighter from ColourPop is in the shade Flexitarian. I am so okay with letting this go. I don't know why. I don't love this. Like, it's so beautiful in the skin, but I never love picking this up with a fluffy brush. I feel super weird saying it, but there are so many other highlighters that I would rather reach for than this one. I'm gonna let this one go too, so I can love on the ones that I love more. And I brought this one in as a pressed powder option. This is the Diffusion Set Translucent pressed powder from Make. It's supposed to be translucent with light to medium. Guys, this is so yellow. And I've done a number on this. Let me see if I can, these are removable pans. Like, I've made a somewhat decent dip, which is crazy for me, but this comes out super yellow on my skin. It's not like translucent. So because I have so many other powders that I ignore, pressed powders, I'm gonna declutter this one as well. I used this drawer like crazy last month, or this month, I guess. So I feel so good about the decisions that I've made. So we need to fill this one back up with bronzers and highlighters from my stash. Now this one, I did a freaking terrible job. Let's do the highlighters first. So I had one of the highlighting powders from Bobbi Brown in Pink Glow because I wanted a pink option in. I used the heck out of this for the month. I was reaching for this like almost every time I was here getting ready so I can put this one back. Not declutter it because I love it. It's one of my favorite highlighters. Other highlighter that I brought in was from Winky Lux. This was a cream highlighter. I don't even think they make these anymore in Radiant Pink. And I used it twice, so I feel good about it. And I didn't even realize the second time that I used it literally was on my face all day. It didn't go anywhere. And you know what? Highlighters for me just do not last that long. So when it stayed all day and I like rolled in the driveway at the end of the day and I was like, oh, whoa, that's still on my cheeks. I realized in that second time using it just how much of a good product this is. So I'm actually going to keep that in my everyday makeup drawer for this month. Now, the rest of it, I did a pretty awful job in testing. I brought in 2 of the Milani baked blushes in Dolce Pink and then Luminoso. I never even reached for these. So both of these I want to stay for May. I actually pulled this in after the fact. This is the Laura Mercier cream blush that she does not make anymore. It's the cream cheek color. Oh my gosh, I already forgot the name, Praline. And it's older and it's like on the drier side, but it's still got some life left in it. So I want to keep this one in here and I would like to use this up. Didn't even get a chance to use it, but I also pulled it in super late when I started pulling out all of my cream blushes and realized I couldn't feature this in the video because it's no longer made. And then I had 2 of the Buxom Wanderlust blushes. I had Seychelles and then Dolly. I used Seychelles and it's just too damn gray on me. I don't remember it being this like gray. I didn't love it. Like, it's just not flattering when you buff it in. It's so much prettier, like I think on my swatch, but it looks super gray on my cheeks. So this used to be my favorite, but it's more about the formula and the finish than this particular shade. It's just a really popular shade, but I'm going to let this one go. Surprisingly, in testing all of these, I made so many more decisions than I thought I would, but I didn't even use Dolly, so Dolly is going to stay. The last one that I have here, I pulled in later, same thing, when I was doing my cream blush ranking. This is the Summer Fridays Balm, Blush Balm Stick in Dusty Rose. Again, with Summer Fridays, they sometimes make such limited edition stuff. Ooh, this is dirty. You can't get your hands on it forever. They don't even make this anymore, which is such a freaking shame because this was so beautiful. So I'm going to keep this guy in here because, again, I pulled him in pretty late. Like, this is way more pigmented than a lot of my blush balm sticks, in quote, end quote. So she stays for now. And this is all the blushes I think I can like handle in addition to what I am testing. I don't even know if I'll make like a concerted effort to work through these. So I'm not gonna replenish the blush at all. But I do want to talk about highlighter. I ended up picking this up, an illuminator from Iconic London, again when I was in stores. So freaking beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite new products. This just says original, and I think there's like one other deeper shade. But this is freaking delicious. I'll put this in a speed reviews. So beautiful. Totally keeping up here. I've only used it one time, so like to test it a couple times before it goes into speed reviews. Let's move on to these, which is my Project Pan items. I hit pan in one of these. I hit pan. Oh my goodness, that's a different video. Anyway, these are still my Project Pan items. This I am literally down to scraping the sides, so I feel good about that. The Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte, I probably used one time. The bronzers I've been using like crazy. The powder I've been using like crazy. I did not use this. I keep forgetting about this in the drawer, the Pore Refining Primer from Dr. Brandt. So I still want to pan it, but it's, you know, it's just a little guy. I don't think it's like that important, but I didn't even use it. Then I don't know why, but I kept these as like my lip and highlighter drawer. I guess basically just those two drawers were dedicated to Project Pan items. I used the Marc Jacobs liner a couple of times. I'm gonna keep working on it. Then I had two little minis, a Jouet in, what is that? Rose gold. This is one of their toppers. This is, again, like nearly finished, but I've overcommitted in lip products, so I don't even think I used this once. I think I used this once, which is a tester of the Dior Addict Lip Maximizer, so I'm keeping it in. I had two highlighters. I had the Iced Out highlighter from Anastasia, which is yellow, which I love yellow. So this still is gonna stay. I don't know if I'll ever hit pan. Like, how can you hit pan on something like this, you know? In a century? Get out of here. Is this baked anyway? I have a feeling it's baked, but I don't know. It doesn't say and I don't remember. And then finally, I had this for Project Pan, the Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop. And I've made such a dent. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. I have been trying so hard to keep this in my collection just so I can hit pan, but I'm done. Honestly, it's not a shade that I love. And so I'm torturing myself when there's so many other highlighters out there that are better suited for my skin tone. It's just too peach. It's just not made, I think, for me. It just doesn't look as flattering as some of my other ones. Not that it's terrible. So, guys, I'm gonna declutter it. So now I need to put some things in here that I'm testing, like more things that I need to test for the month of May. And then I need to pull in bronzers, just bronzers. Because I have the blush, I think I'll probably bring in like one more highlighter, but I'm good on the blush because we haven't even talked about this drawer yet. Just one more highlighter, I think. Well, it depends. Let's see what I have to move into rotation for testing. So we'll go over this drawer in just a second, but I have two more foundations that I'm also testing. The Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie. This one is in LN6. I just repurchased this. I had this 3 years ago. It was at a time where I had really dry skin, so it didn't work for me, but my skin is so combo oily now, and we are approaching the hotter season. There are so many products that I decluttered back in the day that just weren't really good for my dry skin that would be perfect for me now. So I find myself repurchasing those products, but also I want to test this for my best foundations for oily skin in the summertime when you're sweating your ass off video. So I'm gonna pull this in. Makes 3 foundations to test, but I don't think that's hard for me to do at all because every time I wear makeup, I'm always wearing foundation. The MAC Studio Fix, this is the new one, the one that's been reformulated, 24-hour matte foundation and oil control. I am done testing, so we can move that guy out of here. Peace out. All right, now let's go through this drawer. This is the blush drawer for the items that I am testing. Look at that long hair I just yanked out. I've tried this one time, and these two I have not tested at all. These two I also picked up when we were on our family vacation. I think I've like swatched this, but I haven't put this on my cheeks. This is the Cream Color for Cheeks and Lips from Makeup Revolution Fast Base Blush. I have swatched this as well, but haven't put it on. It's kind of weirdly detached. You know, like why is it not the same size as the opening is what I want to know. And why is it like moving around? I don't know, and it also doesn't smell super fresh. So I'm at least gonna test it one time, but this has been sitting in here for a month now. I genuinely have not grabbed for this since I put it in there because I'm just turned off. But also like I grab for it when I'm looking for that kind of shade. In addition to all the other blushes I was testing, I didn't feel like I had a time for it. But I also have the powder blush from Makeup Revolution in Peach Blish. Oh, I've been talking too long. Bliss. So I'm gonna keep this in here. It's a good option for a peach day. This one I have used maybe twice at this point, but I don't have my thoughts complete. It's the Nude Sticks blush tint in Sunset Rose. So this needs to stay in here, but we need to pull some more blushes in. That's why I can't grab any more for this drawer, because these are ones that I purchased, have tested once, and have not tested again. They need to be tested. I picked up one of the Radiant blushes from Moira Beauty. This one is in My Everything. I'm gonna pull that in. And then I'm gonna pull in, I don't want to pull in everything because then I get overwhelmed, and then for whatever reason I start reaching for other things because I get overwhelmed. Like it's this weird dynamic that I have with myself. But I want to pull in the Moira. I think this is a nice peachy color for a liquid day. And then I want to pull in the Kaja, what is this even called? Dewy Bar. This one is in the shade Fig Smoothie. This is a new release as well, so this needs to go into rotation. And it's a nice like mauve shade. Sunset Rose is kind of a similar color, even though it looks lighter, like it comes out like darker. So both of these are fairly similar in shade. And then the last one I'm going to pull in is the Polite Pops Powder Blush Stick from Polite Society. These three that I just pulled in, I've only tested once in a video, so they need to go like be fully tested. The last three that I have in here, I'm going to reserve for when I flush this out. So during the month, if this gets low, I pull in the other ones. I don't know if I need to pull in all of them just yet. Again, I get kind of overwhelmed and then I ignore them as opposed to like actually doing my job and testing them. I also picked up every one of the 5 shades of the highlighting blushes. I'm calling them highlighting blushes from Rare Beauty. So I think that I will keep these also for testing right where they are and just put them back. I don't think I'm ready. I like to go in order of economics, like FIFO, first in, first out. So those need to wait because they're not quite as old as some of the other ones and these ones in this drawer. The last 2 that I have in my testing new makeup bin, I just picked up. I have been eyeing the Dior blush, the Rouge blush in the Rose, I can't even say it, Rose whatever. In 219, it's a shimmer formula, but they're sold out everywhere. They're sold out on Ulta's website. They're sold out on Sephora's website. I was able to get this from Dior's website. My Lancome Blush Subtil, so similar to this, and it is one of my favorite blushes. So I indulged myself, and I don't even care. I've swatched it a couple of times, but I haven't put this on my cheeks yet. I am actually going to pull this into rotation because for me, this is something I purchased like on my own because I've had my eye on it for so long. So I'm gonna get rid of the box and I'm going to pull this in. Hence the reason some of those other ones are kind of staying back there. Also bought this for myself. Had been eyeing it too. It's the Gel Powder Highlighter from Haus Labs. This one is like a deeper shade in Fire Opal that I want to wear as a shimmery blush. And because it's spring, I feel like shimmery blushes are my current rage. So I hope that this is going to be a decent shade that I can use as a shimmery ass blush. You guys see that? Oh, heavens. I didn't mean to flip you off, but look at that. I think I can get away with this as a blush. I'm definitely trying. So, boxes. Don't you do that. Don't you dare. Hello. So boxes thrown away. These 2 will go in here. I have no bronzers to test. I have no highlighters to test. I have been slowing down on purchasing like new releases. So yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. But I need to pull in some bronzers for my everyday makeup drawer. And what I've been doing is trying to grab cream bronzers because my powder bronzers will be fine. They're just older ones in the cream category that really need love and also to see if I like them. So if not, I can do what I did with the others and just get rid of them, totally declutter them. So I'm gonna set the camera up to my cream bronzer drawer and we're gonna pull some out for my everyday makeup items. Okay, welcome to my bronzer drawer. I am on the floor. So my best strategy here has been to target things that are a little bit older, really to get more use out of them and also decide whether or not I love you or hate you and you need to go, because I do tend to ignore cream bronzers like quite a bit and go for powder bronzers. So I'm looking, okay. I think that I want to bring in the Charlotte Tilbury because this is kind of a drier formula anyway. You guys, it kind of like has that like dry quality about it. I don't feel like it'll last quite as long. And it's not an older product in my collection, but for that reason, I think I need to pull it in. So I'm going to pull that one in and I don't feel weird about going ham. I don't think. This one right here from M Cosmetics, the So Soft, oh great, I'm making a mess. The So Soft bronzer stick in summer. I have not grabbed for, reached for, I have not worn this in so long. This might even be a shade that's like just too deep for my personal preferences. So I need to pull this one in. I'm looking at a lot of these and I know that I like them. and even some of them I've used pretty recently. But I think next it needs to be NARS, the cream bronzer in Laguna 01, because this is a little bit older and I can already see it like slightly pulling away from the sides. Like it's not bad, but oh, it's so creamy and delicious. I didn't even bring a towel over here, so I might have screwed myself. I don't know what it is about bronzers where I just don't feel like I need a huge collection the way that I do about blushes. If you guys just saw my cream blush ranking, I literally have 59 cream blushes, okay? 59, what is my problem? But here, I don't like a lot. You know, I want to keep it like small, because blush is one of those things where you can wear like 9,000 different shades, but like only one real shade of bronzer works for you. So maybe that's it. Maybe I just explained it. And then I want to pull this one in finally. The Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte, because I had this in a project pan at one point, and then I pulled it out because I wasn't using it. I wasn't reaching for it. And that's a sign right there that maybe this is just, it's too deep and I need to declutter this. So I'm gonna give it one last shot. Even this one, like I was saying, looks too deep. But these two, Charlotte and NARS, like this is the kind of tone that I'm reaching for right now. These two, not so much. And I think that's why those ones really need to get love. I think maybe I'm gonna pull in, you know what? I'm gonna pull in this one. I'll reserve Tarte. I was gonna pull in the Maneater, but I'm gonna pull in the Danessa Myrix because I picked this up in a shade that is too dark. This is the second lightest. This is light 2, and I have used it a couple of times, but again, look how warm that is. It's so new, I could totally pass this along to somebody else. So I'm gonna give it one more go round. I'm leaning on this is gonna go, but we'll see what it looks like on the cheeks one final time. And then I think I will end up passing this along, and that'll free up some space. Like I'm grabbing for the ones I'm not sure about because I'd like to get rid of them, but there's so many in here that I like. The only other one I think might be the Milani because I think it's way too warm, and maybe the Tarte is a little bit too like yellow leaning, but that would be another one that I would definitely want to test. But a lot of these I'm sure that I love and need to get more use out of, so long as I don't have a bunch in here that are garbage. So I just want to get rid of the garbage ones, I think. Yeah, that's my reasoning. So let me actually pull out a pink highlighter. I'm gonna pull this up just a teensy bit because I kept the cream highlighter, but I want to pull in a pink powder highlighter. Or do I need a pink? Do I want to use the same strategy where I'm over here like getting rid of the things that I'm kind of on the fence about? Or do I want to pull in ones that I love, love, love? This little shit from Chantecaille. It is a blush. It's the Lotus Blossom Radiant Blush. Has gone into so many chopping blocks at this time and has survived. I'm gonna pull it in one more time because I'm feeling super decisive. I've been making some really good decisions on getting rid of stuff that I literally know that I don't like to reach for, that I've just been holding on to for collection's sake. And then I'm also gonna do the same thing, be decisive with the blush from Makeup by Mitchell. This is in Champagne Fields. I actually remember really enjoying this because it's kind of like a unique shade in my collection. But as I look around and I start pulling some of these out, I'm like, I know I love you, I know I love you, I know I love you. There are definitely more in here that I'm on the fence about, but if I overwhelm myself, I won't do a concerted effort to try and get rid of them. But this one I'm gonna pull in just for the sake of like, I want a more icy kind of highlighter from Ofra because this is older in my collection. It's one of the oldest, maybe. This one is from the Nikki Tutorials collab in Glazed Donut. Most of the powder ones are newer, and honestly I grabbed one from the liquid category, but I would pull this one in too from Ulta. It's the Golden Hour liquid highlighter. Like I'm not sure I love this, but I also have the ones from Tarte and Charlotte and Laura Mercier back there. I just feel like I need to get more use out of like the liquids and creams because they go bad quickly, and I'm honestly getting like terrified of having spent my money and not getting enough use out of it. So Nikki Tutorials Ofra highlighter is going, but I'm picking out one more. This is a powder from Laura Mercier. It's one of the Celestial Light powders, or it's like the light catcher one in Celestial Light. It was just back there and I didn't even see it. And I love this as a loose powder highlighter. I never ever get enough use out of this because of its size, I don't think it was meant to be like a loose powder highlighter, but that's exactly what this product is. It's gorgeous for that, but it gets shoved back there. So I'm going to pull this one in as well. And now I've just overwhelmed myself, which I said I didn't want to do, but I'm doing it. Oh, this one pains me. We'll leave this weird guy for next month. We'll make a decision on him. I think that's good for these drawers. Let's close her up now. All right, I think I'm gonna put the bronzers here, like in this empty one. You know what, I'm just gonna put both in this drawer. Okay, obviously one of those didn't fit. So bronzers and highlighters in here, like I am at the very beginning of doing like an everyday makeup drawer situation. So I always feel like I need to bring in more than I probably would normally do. I think moving forward, I might bring in like 2 or 3 a month instead of as many as I did. But I know that I need to figure out whether or not I like some of these. And so some of them it's about using and then some of them it's about figuring out, do you like it, because you were already on the fence about it. I don't want to even go over my eyeshadow palettes. I was just like looking at it just now and I thought to myself, like I usually do a rotation of the eyeshadow palettes, but I have 4 palettes behind me that I'm still working on. I like to test my eyeshadow palettes like at least, let me show you. Here are the eyeshadow palettes. So I like to test them at least 5 times before they go into like a ranking video, which is my version of speed reviews for my eyeshadow palettes. And then I keep the new ones like in the back there. But guys, I have so many new eyeshadow palettes, but I don't want to overwhelm myself. It's again like one of those situations where if I put too many in front of me, then I get indecisive. I can't decide. It's a terrible feeling too. So the ones back there are ones I have not even, like I've tested that one time, but the other 3 I haven't even put on my eyes yet. And every one of these here, I still want to use more because I like to get my money's worth, like 5 different eye looks before I put them away. So I'm gonna leave them. I'm not even gonna mess around with the eyeshadows. I am rocking a full green look today because I was testing out a new spring palette. Don't know that I love the look that I created, and especially in this light, it's like not my favorite, but I thought I would do like a face outro for you guys so you weren't like just looking at my hands the entire video. So that's it. That's my refreshing my everyday makeup drawer for the month of May. I hope this is stuff you guys do too. I hope this is something that you like sit down and go, oh, I need to refresh my drawer as well. And it like gives you inspiration. Because I feel like it's stupidly time consuming mentally. You know, in the grand scheme of things, this is not like a top priority, but it also feels like if you go out of your way to spend all your money for all of this makeup, that it's really good to rotate it so that you're getting use out of it, even though it's all in excess anyway. But I am really enjoying filming these videos, so I hope that you guys are really enjoying them. If you guys are not currently subscribed, I would love to see you subscribe so you can stick around and so I can catch you guys in the next video. I'm out of here. Bye guys.